Today's mini review is going to be a bit different than the usual format where I try to review 2 or 3 movies in under 10 minutes. Today's review is going to be for just one movie. Because I couldn't find any particular movie to put alongside this particular film and have it fit, and my thoughts on this movie are a bit much, that trying to cram in thoughts on another film may not have been possible. The movie I'm going to talk about for today's episode of the mini reviews is Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, directed by Zack Snyder and written by Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer. I'll be honest, I really was not looking forward to seeing this movie, and my hesitance to check it out started way over a year before it was even released, back when I heard the title they were going with. Like many people, I really wanted to see a live-action film starring both Superman and Batman. And I can tell you, I did not want their first film together to be a movie where they hate each other and are fighting and trying to kill each other. And then I finally saw it, mainly because I wanted to fully understand the film before the Blockbuster Buster reviewed it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, the story is still fucking stupid. Batman and Superman are extremely hard to sympathize with in this movie, and I don't blame the actors. The characters were just written to a point where very few actors could save them. However, for the scenes where they weren't written as paranoid retards, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill were actually able to add some life and 3 dimension to these characters. Ben Affleck especially, like everybody who has commented on this film, I was really blown away with Ben Affleck's performance, and I wouldn't call him the greatest Batman I've ever seen. I still think Michael Keaton holds that title. But out of all the actors who have played the Bruce Wayne persona, I think Ben Affleck just owned it. He just created this very unique character, and this movie really showed me just how much Ben Affleck has grown as an actor. And he's not always been a perfect actor. I mean, 13 years ago, he gave what I think is his worst performance as Daredevil. But here, in a film that has mixed and often pretty horrible writing, Ben showed he's become an actor who can carry a bad script and make even the bad parts, if not seem good, seem watchable due to his incredible performance. And very few actors can pull that off. Mel Gibson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ben Affleck, he's become one of those actors, and while he wasn't always like that, he's shown here he is very good. Henry Cavill as Superman, I thought he did a good job. I said in my mini review of Man of Steel that that movie is my all-time favorite Superman film. But here, they just messed up with the Superman character, and Cavill was good. He worked with what he was given, but what he was given just was not that great, and it's obvious that they put more stock in the Batman side of the story. Aside from not wanting their first movie to be them hating each other, Batman and Superman's reasons for hating each other are very poor. Pretty much they hate each other because the other takes the law into their own hands, and they don't like the certain methods the other one does. And all throughout the movie, all I could think is, hypocrites. You're both hypocrites. And despite all the poor and convoluted motivations throughout the story, I'll give it this. The direction kept this movie very interesting. I was not bored once while watching this, and although a lot of it was stupid, it was so well made in some parts that I didn't find myself getting as pissed off as I thought I would. And I'll say, I wouldn't mind watching Batman vs. Superman again, which is more than I can say for The Dark Knight. And the last thing I'll say about Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne / Batman is, as paranoid and as delusional as his Batman gets, I still enjoyed him much more than I ever will with Christian Bale's goody-goody idiot portrayal of the character. And the last thing I'll say about the plot is, some scenes are very well done as individual scenes, but as a connected story, the film's just a mess. But the worst part for me would have to be the last 10 minutes, which is so goddamn moronic it actually makes the ending from The Dark Knight seem less silly. And as for the other actors in this, Amy Adams' Lois Lane is unfortunately downgraded from the last film, and she's not as used as much as I would have liked. And while they don't give her as much to do in this film, they at least didn't go back to the Margot Kidder style. And while they don't use the character as well as they did in Man of Steel, Amy Adams just brings so much personality that was never there before in the other portrayals that I still love watching this Lois Lane, and Amy Adams is just such a fantastic actress. She can, like Ben Affleck's performance in this, she can work through all the shit and still come out looking good. Jeremy Irons as Alfred. This Alfred is such an improvement over Michael Caine's version, which is, in my opinion, the worst acting I have ever seen from Michael Caine. And Jeremy Irons' Alfred is just the father figure, mentor, partner that I think is what everybody wishes they had. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I really don't have an opinion. I mean, she looks pretty cool, and the fight scene she's in is pretty good, I guess, but that fight scene is almost all of her screen time in the film. Before that, we only got her for maybe 4 or 6 scenes, and each one of them barely amounted to a minute. It just feels weird that they put so much emphasis on Wonder Woman in this film's marketing when maybe in the extended version there's more of her, but in the theatrical version, her appearance is so brief and almost nothing about her is shown or explained, so how can I be expected to have an opinion about her? And finally, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Now, I'm a little mixed on this one. Basically, I don't think this is a bad villain performance, but at the same time I'm thinking, this ain't Lex Luthor. This version of Lex Luthor, I don't even want to call it a version of the character because so little about it resembles the character that we've seen in the many different versions before. And while just about every Batman fan will say that they hated this part of the movie, I like that they made the character very dark again in the sense that he actually does kill some criminals. I know the arguments of it separates him from them. I just like the grittier, edgier heroes or anti-heroes, and it just felt refreshing after seeing all these stick-to-the-rules moral bullshit in the Dark Knight movies. Well, it wasn't well written, it was well directed, and the action in this film is amazing. And to drive the point home, the action in The Dark Knight was great as well, and even more impressive because they use very little CGI in those films. But The Dark Knight, in my very minority opinion, had so many flaws that I can't even watch it to enjoy the action. Batman vs. Superman, on the other hand, I definitely wouldn't mind watching this film again, maybe a few more times. I recommend checking it out. You may love it, you may hate it, you may like it, you may love/hate it. You be the judge.